So, are you familiar with this SCP? Kiwi? Oh my god, I was going to say Kiwi. Oh my god, sorry.
You. Loosely. I know that
Loosely.
I haven't watched like a video on him.
We did get a little insight into this SCP because we watched SCP 5000 during one of our live streams. So yeah, we did get mention of this guy. I believe he comes out during Christmas, and they use like another SCP in order to make it Christmas every single day, so he's active every day and he does horrible things to people. But yeah, we'll see.
As one does, yeah.
Let's get right into it. The Yule Man.
But Yule just is not an intimidating word, I'm sorry.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller. And the SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-4666. Object Class, Keter. Special Containment Procedures. Web traffic and law enforcement channels worldwide are to be monitored for evidence of SCP-4666 activity, and particularly for cases of stalking or reports of anomalous phenomena involving families with young children.
No.
Should a Wisenacht event be suspected to be in progress, the nearest containment task force is to be dispatched to attempt containment of SCP-4666. Standard PDP-8 humanoid first contact protocols apply. Media coverage of family deaths attributed to SCP-4666
based on Krampus?
is to be suppressed or falsified to make said deaths appear as non-anomalous, home invasion.
Krampus is a different SCP? What?
Forensic evidence and SCP-4666-A instances collected by non-Foundation agencies are to be confiscated and witnesses amnesticized.
Christmas SCPs are not my forte.
SCP-4666 is currently believed to be a single, exceptionally long-lived humanoid entity of unknown origin. Survivors of Wisenacht events typically describe SCP-4666 as a very tall, between 2 and 2.3 meters, elderly male of
I swear it's not me.
with an extremely emaciated appearance. The entity always appears completely naked, even when observed in freezing weather. Though the nature and extent of its anomalous properties remain uncertain, SCP-4666 appears capable of
the greatest thing about using a VTuber model.
Instantaneous travel to any location north of 40 degrees north latitude, and possibly to any location on Earth.
Whoa.
SCP-4666 activity occurs exclusively within a period of 12 consecutive nights every year, from the night of December 21st or 22nd to the night of January 1st or 2nd. This period is known as SCP-4666's active phase. During this phase, in what are termed Wisenacht events, SCP-4666 will appear at dwellings in one or multiple locations north of 40 degrees north latitude. In all known Wisenacht events, these dwellings have shared the following characteristics: isolated rural location, home to a family with at least one child under the age of 8, and situated in an area with snow cover lasting throughout the duration of the event. Wisenacht events consist of the following general progression. Nights 1 to 7. Children will report seeing SCP-4666 in the vicinity of their family's dwelling. The entity will typically be observed watching the dwelling from a distance, such as from across a nearby field or from the edge of a neighboring forest. In some cases, children will report waking up at night to find SCP-4666 watching them sleep through a window. Nights 8 to 11. Family members, including the parents, will report sounds of footsteps coming from the roof or the attic. An extremely unpleasant odor will also frequently be noticed inside the dwelling.
Oh, he doesn't even shower.
No cause for these phenomena will be found. As a result, parents will often begin to suspect their family is being stalked, or even that their dwelling might be haunted.
That is a very good assumption, yes.
Yeah.
Over the course of the night, one of two scenarios will occur. The first, and most common, is that SCP-4666 will kill all members of the family, save for one child under the age of 8, whom it will abduct. SCP-4666 will inflict incapacitating injuries to family members while they are sleeping, then herd them into a single room of the dwelling where it will proceed to kill them in view of each other. The method of killing
God,
varies
that's
with the
sadistic.
event and will typically be preceded by some form of torture, which appears to serve as a ritualistic purpose. See Wisenacht events log below. In the second scenario, which has occurred in roughly 15% of known Wisenacht events, SCP-4666 will not harm the family. Family members will report hearing footsteps inside their dwelling at night, though no signs of forced entry will be found. In the morning, children will discover presents at the foot of their beds. These will consist of toys crudely crafted from the remains of human children.
Okay, no.
4666A instances log below.
I walk back that statement immediately.
If any by which SCP-4666 determines the outcome of the Wisenacht event are unknown.
So be dying from laughing.
4666530091.
I am still sick.
Wisenacht events log.
Oh no.
Location: unknown village, Croatia.
It is Kiwi.
Unconfirmed. An entire family was killed with the exception of one of the children, age unknown, who was abducted. Though specific details about the event are not available in recovered documents, it was noted that the killings presented strong paganistic elements and that the family members had been made to suffer greatly prior to death. The archbishop who oversaw the investigation wrote that he believed the family had been killed as part of a demonic ritual. Location: unknown village, Rupert's Land, present-day Ontario, Canada, 1689. Description of Wisenacht event: unconfirmed. An entire family was killed with the exception of two of the children, one of whom was abducted, and one of whom, female age unknown, escaped during the killings and was able to reach a nearby village. She told authorities that a naked man had broken into her family's dwelling during the night and proceeded to torture them.
I mean, it doesn't even have to be an SCP. If it wasn't just a naked man, that would be scary enough.
The bodies of the family members were found inside their dwelling, hanging upside down from the ceiling. All had been exsanguinated. Location: Eichstätt, Germany, 1913. Description of Wisenacht event: an entire family was killed with the exception of the youngest child, male, age 3, who was abducted. The bodies of the parents and 5 other children were found inside a stable adjoining their dwelling. They had been restrained by having knives, pitchforks, and other sharp implements forced through the palms of their hands and into the walls of the stable before having their tongues removed, leading to hemorrhaging and death. Blood from the family members had then been used to paint elaborate patterns of unknown meaning on the hides of the mule, goat,
artistic
and 2
expression.
cows present
It's
in the
Kiwi,
stable.
remember?
The animals themselves were not harmed.
Yeah.
Neighbors told the authorities that in the week preceding the killings, the father of the family had mentioned finding tracks in the snow around the family's dwelling, which appeared to have been made by bare human feet. Location:
I like these renderings
Soviet
of him.
Union, 1956.
He looks very happy.
Description of Wisenacht event: an entire family was killed with the exception
skinny
of the
but
youngest
muscular.
child, male age 4, who was abducted. The
I
bodies
mean,
of
the
the parents
man
and one
can
other child
cure
were found in the
literally
living room
anywhere
of
in the
their
world
house. They had
at
been
instant
restrained,
speed,
and
so
their feet had been held
imagine
over
him
flames
running
in
all the way there.
fireplace
How
for
much
an
muscle he'd
extended
have.
period of time, calcining the tissues of the feet and exposing the bones. They had then their heads crushed with an unknown heavy implement. Hundreds of bite marks believed to have been inflicted post-mortem were found on each of the bodies. Branches cut from a fir tree outside the house had also been placed over the bodies to unknown purpose. Location: Skudeneshavn, Norway, 1971. Description of Wisenacht event: an entire family was killed with the exception of the second youngest child, female age 5, who was abducted.
Oh,
The
well,
bodies
I
of
mean,
the parents and
I
2 other
assume
children
that the
were
kids
found
that
in
were
the basement
abducted
of
are
their
turned into
house.
toys.
Each had at least 1 limb pulled off by brute force before being stabbed precisely 39 times with an unknown sharp implement, possibly a piece of bone from one of the removed limbs, resulting in massive blood loss and death. The family members had been eviscerated and their small and large intestines removed and cut into 30 to 50 centimeter long pieces. These had been arranged in radiating lines around the bodies. Feces from the intestines had been used to trace symbols of unknown meaning on the walls of the basement.
Staring into your soul.
Location:
I don't like
Egilsstadir,
it. It's uncomfortable.
Iceland,
Have you
1996.
been naughty?
Description of Wisenacht event:
So
An
naughty.
entire family was killed with the exception of the youngest child, female age 4, who was abducted. The bodies of the parents and 7 other children
I don't think
were
I
found
qualify
inside
as a
their
child
house.
anymore, though.
All had large pieces of skin removed from their backs,
SCP-466 is like,
prior to death.
mentally you
Removed
are.
skin was found to have been
That's enough for
partially
me.
consumed. They had been
That's
killed
fair.
by decapitation with a bucksaw that had belonged to the family.
Ooh.
Following death, the family members' headless bodies had been carried into their respective
I like how
rooms
most of
and
this
placed on
log
their
so far is
beds.
just
Each of
he
the
went
removed
into this
heads
house,
had also been placed
killed a
upright
bunch of
on a step
people in
of
a
the
strange way,
staircase
and
leading
stole
from
the child.
first to the second floor.
Pretty
The parents'
much.
heads on the top 2 steps, and the children's heads on the lower steps, in decreasing order of age. Document 4666.
Yeah, that's very artistic of him.
530985.
Yeah.
SCP-4666.
Perhaps there's a deeper meaning.
Location: Nerms, Finland,
I don't-
1811.
I don't think there is.
Description of SCP-4666-A instance. A small wooden drum with 2 wooden drumsticks of uneven length. Drum skin consists of a 390 centimeter cubed piece of skin belonging to a human child stretched with a thread made from human tendons. Location:
Yes, the
Gallagher,
artistic
Wales,
expression, truly.
1857.
Mm-hmm.
Description of SCP-4666-A instance. A small knife, 15
Always on the
centimeters
bone.
in length. The blade was 6 centimeters in length, sculpted from a single piece of bone
Yeah.
belonging to a human child. Symbols of unknown meaning had been carved into the handle. Location: Makat, Kazakhstan, 1903. Description of SCP-4666-A instance. A flute made from the hollowed-out femur of a human child. Holes have been bored at uneven intervals along its length. The femur appears to have been dyed in human blood. Location: Bangor, Michigan, 1960. Description of SCP-4666-A instance. A wooden box containing 13 miniature human-like figurines, each 4 to 6 centimeters in height, made from the phalangeal bones of human children, tied together with strips of human tendon. The figurines had been decorated
Phalangeal
with human
bones.
hair and small pieces of torn clothing. DNA testing revealed that the remains belonged to 18 separate children.
Yeah,
Location:
I'm just gonna guess
Cape
that's what
Royal,
happened to the
Canada,
abducted kids.
1976.
Yeah.
For artistic purposes, I will use you. Not for science, but for
3 centimeters
art.
in diameter, made from
Yeah.
19 layers of human skin, wrapped tightly around the desiccated head of an unidentified human child. Male, age 2 or 3. Layers of skin are held in place with pine resin. Location: Bard, Netherlands, 2006. Description of SCP-4666-A instance. A hairbrush. The handle is made out of wood and poorly carved. In place of bristles, 43 deciduous human teeth have been set at irregular intervals
Gross.
into the handle.
I hate
DNA
that.
testing revealed that each tooth belongs to a different child. Only 2 of the teeth could be matched to known abduction victims of SCP-4666. Teeth vary in age from a few days to over 400 years.
He just has a collection,
Discovery.
God.
SCP-4666's existence and ongoing activity were first detected in 1974 through the Foundation's newly implemented Anomalous Signature Recognition Program, when several highly similar home invasion incidents resulting in family deaths were found to have occurred throughout the Northern Hemisphere during the night of January 1st or 2nd. Extensive research into
They're in the
law
Southern
enforcement
Hemisphere, so you're
archives
safe.
worldwide eventually uncovered evidence
is
of
true.
probable Weisnacht events for nearly every preceding
There's
year,
probably
going
some
back
other
to the
horrible
late
SCP down here, though.
1800s. Average of 3.1
Should
known
look up
events per
Thai
year.
SCPs later.
Numerous historical documents were also found, which appear to
God.
describe SCP-4666 activity occurring prior to this
I mean,
period.
there's the Bigfoot
In some
SCP,
cases
so we
as
know the
early
one
as
around
the
me.
2nd century AD in Europe and Russia, and as early as the 1st century BC in Scandinavia. Fingerprints belonging to the same humanoid entity have been
Yes, the
discovered
comments
at
can
the
tell us.
locations
Know
of
any
all
good Thai
Foundation-investigated
SCPs, let us know.
Weisnacht events. These have been matched
That's
to
very
a partial
specific.
fingerprint found preserved in dried blood on
That's
a
all I can
recovered
ask for. I am always
SCP-4666-A instance
specific.
dating from 1873. The fingerprints present characteristics not known to occur in human beings. See image. Human-like white hairs were also recovered from the locations of several Wisenacht events, though no DNA, human or
The
otherwise,
finger's not usually
could
at
be
2
extracted
poles,
from
right?
them.
Usually there's one swirl.
4666
Some,
oh,
two maybe? I don't know.
On January
know.
2nd, 2018,
I've only
several
seen one.
SCP-4666-A instances were discovered at a family's residence in Hoona, Alaska, following the conclusion of
Hoona.
Wisenacht event number 060198. Among these
Hoona,
instances,
there was one city called Banger.
SCP-4666-A0960, which consisted of a crude life-sized doll made from the emaciated body of a female child, to which the following modifications had been made. A dress made from various pieces of dirty, discolored clothing had been sewn around the body, and in several places into the body.
Even worse than Annabelle.
The mouth had been sewn shut with thread made from human tendons, and the lips painted red with a solution consisting primarily of human blood. The fingernails of another child had been glued over the body's fingernails with pine resin.
Yeah.
These had been painted red with the same human blood-based solution. 3 of the body's fingers were missing. The entire scalp had been removed from the head, and the scalp of another child with long blonde hair sewn onto the head in its place.
Oh, nice.
The hair had been tied into 2
Human hair
braids.
wig.
Both eyes
Those are
had been
expensive.
removed, and 2 large round pebbles on which eyes had been crudely painted placed into the empty orbits. Upon examination by the family, the child from whom the doll had been made was found to be still alive, albeit unconscious. Authorities were notified, and the child was airlifted to Bartlett Regional Hospital in Juneau, Alaska, where she survived for 18 hours.
Juneau.
2 Foundation agents were dispatched and were able to interview the subject.
That's where that joke
below.
ends.
Following the subject's death, her body was confiscated by the agents, and all witnesses amnesticized as per standard procedure. DNA testing revealed that the subject had been Ekaterina Morozova, age 7, a known abduction victim of SCP-4666 taken from her family's residence in Dubovka, Russia on January 2nd, 2016. Autopsy of the subject's body showed she had been severely malnourished during the 2 years following her abduction, which had resulted in considerable stunting. Weight was only 15 kilograms, height was only 90 centimeters. A number of scars and burns were present on her skin, and she had suffered 2 bone fractures, left tibia and left ulna, that had not been reset
466 is not really good at taking care of children.
Cause of death was attributed to
Look at that
multiple
face.
organ
He looks like
failure
he'd be great with
resulting from
kids.
severe, sustained malnourishment.
Yeah, I trust him with my kid, certainly.
Document 4666-5-358-14. Interview log. Audio log 4666-06201. Date, January 2nd, 2018. Time, 11:27 to 11:49 p.m. Alaskan Standard Time. Location, Bartlett Regional Hospital, Juneau, Alaska. Interviewers,
I've never heard
Anthony
it pronounced
Kowalczyk,
like that.
Agent Susan
I always just heard it as
attending.
Juno. I don't know
Subject,
which is correct.
Ekaterina Morozova, SCP-4666-A0960.
Any Alaskans in chat?
Age 7.
In
Notes.
chat.
In chat,
Subject regained
yes.
consciousness for a period of roughly 30 minutes prior to expiring, during which she was interviewed. Hospital staff had previously removed
did they
the
take
thread
you?
that had been sewn into her lips, allowing her to speak. Despite having been administered a morphine drip, the subject was largely coherent throughout the interview. The subject did not understand English and initially only spoke a language that was unfamiliar to Agents Kowalczyk and Muse. However, after several minutes, the subject began addressing the agents in Russian, which he spoke poorly. Agent Kowalczyk, who spoke rudimentary Russian, was able to conduct the interview without the need for an interpreter. This interview has been translated by my on-site AI, Acid. Playing log
Was he like,
now.
was she like speaking in his language?
Maybe.
What's your name? No, I promise. I'm just here to talk to you.
I don't want to go back.
You don't have to. You're safe now, Mishka. Can you tell me what happened to you? Do you remember the night he came to your house?
I remember. He hurt Mama and Papa and Katya and you
of children.
I hear people screaming
Ugh.
outside the bag all during the night. Each house, they put another child in the bag.
This voice actress is doing real good. It's real creepy.
Where did he take you?
Underground. Nothing. Deep.
Underground? You mean in a basement?
Deep. Everything earth and mud and ice. Bones everywhere. Everything cold.
I'm gonna assume that we still don't know where they've been taken.
Because it's too cold.
Were there
The
lots
North
of children there with you?
Children. Lots of tunnels. Lots of holes. But they can't see all. I can't see the other island. Too dark. My hole is with Renee, Hecla, Sasha, and Paul. We make toys. Together.
The toys?
So he kidnaps the children to make them into his elves,
You don't need
to make the toys out of the other children.
making toys. Don't
Genius.
fall asleep or he hurt you.
He hurts you. How?
He hit you. He hit you. Or he burn you. Or he bite off your fingers. Or he cook you on the fire in his room and eat you. He eat Phil and Sally.
What about you? How did this happen to you? Did he do this?
Renee, Hecla, and Sasha and Paul do this. They have to.
Why?
I get sick. When you can't make the toys, you become the toys.
You either live long enough to make toys, or you become the toy.
Wow. Let's just get rid of this guy's face off of
Thank
the
you.
monitor, and
Please.
let's all go and have a really good holiday and just take
Hell
our minds
yeah.
off this thing, okay?
Merry
I'm in the
Christmas,
Christmas
everybody.
spirit now.
Thank you for listening, if indeed you still are, and you were all dismissed.
Thank you, Mr. Volgun. I'm reminded suddenly, doesn't the Foundation have the actual Santa in a facility somewhere? What? Huh? Why?
I know the Exploring series has a video just on Christmas SCPs. We should watch that one so we know more.
I recall the log stating he's there voluntarily and they let him out on Christmas to make his rounds. I'd love to see something about him interacting with 4666. What did he do? Oh, yes! We need the Santa beatdown versus 4666. Yo, I'd pay to watch that.
like a YouTuber boxing match. Santa versus the Yule Man.
I mean, it's Santa's job, you know, to protect the children and the Christmas
Yeah,
spirit.
yeah.
Here's what you do. The Foundation gets to a Wisenacht target first. The Yule Man enters a family's house, ties up the family and moves to the kid's bedroom. When he gets in there, he notices a photo on the wall above the kid's bed, angled in such a way the kid could never see it. Then miles away, SCP-096. Oh shit! He begins howling, breaks out of containment, runs towards the northern latitudes. Oh god! Yo, I need to see that too. Please.
Kevin from Home Alone. I'm a
Oh
podcast
yes!
fan.
Yes! Bro, this was way less creepy to me being German than it was to you. We legit have folklore like that. That's an interesting point, right? Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to mention it during the reaction, but I didn't want to pause. There's so many stories about just this entity that comes around during Christmas to kidnap children. It's kind of odd. I don't know. Is it like just one tale that's been kind of like spun around and people have told it in a little different way that it becomes a different entity and then they pass it around throughout the different countries and stuff?
What I
Or is there
think. You're kinda
actually
like-
something that's happening? I don't know.
I don't know. Well, it's like, you know, that telephone game, right? Where things kind of just change over time the more it gets passed along.
Yeah.
It feels like one of those kind of things. Or we just have a pandemic of some creepy old dude kidnapping children.
Oh my god.
Are you okay, Europe? Blink twice if you need help.
That might actually be the case, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe some sort of folk tales started off when some guy actually did come around and kidnap children during Christmas, or maybe it was the other way around where some guy started doing that maybe when like the tales were there, and then so the tales kind of got fortified because they were somewhat true. But it's a very interesting story, and I kind of like how creepy it is, especially the part where, oh, if you don't make the toys, you become a toy.
Yeah.
I would like to see this SCP kind of interacting with the other SCPs somehow, some way, or like an animated series on this SCP. That would be so cool, especially for like Christmas as well. And you did say that Krampus was an entirely different SCP as well. Did you
I
find out?
I don't know.
Well, thankfully to the comments section, we do know that Santa is actually an SCP, so... Or maybe the Yule Man is the Krampus too, our Santa.
When I search Krampus, it does bring up 466, so maybe the same thing.
I mean, I do originally think that this is Krampus is what this story is based off of.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. I don't know a whole lot about either of them, but...
Yeah. I do think that they share the similarity where Krampus also kind of like makes kids into toys, but I don't know too much about him as well.
Me, yeah.
Alright guys, if you enjoy the reaction, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Also, don't forget to comment down below what SCPs we should check out next. But until next time, later dudes.